What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Gonti, Lord of Luxury. Truly hope that you're ready to steal some stuff. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, I do like this one. We have, is that Panharmonicon in the hand? Yeah, excuse me. Hey, Panharmonicon, there's a lot of people watching right now. Excuse me. Anyway, but yes, we do have Panharmonicon in the hand. Let's go ahead and get these swamped down. Let's go for Phyrexian Reclamation. Get that down. Anything else? I think we're going to go and pass the turn. But yes, welcome to some Gonti, Lord of Luxury. It's been a while since I've played Gonti, so it is exciting to get back out there and start stealing some stuff. We are playing Gonti, Lord of Luxury. He has Death Touch. Whenever Gonti enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library. We get to take one of those cards, and we get to spend our manas or any color to cast that spell. Playing against Lavinia, I think that's right. Protection from red. Whenever enters the battlefield, detain each non-land permanent your opponent's control with converted mana cost 4 or less. So we have some blue-white control over there. I'm just going to get the swamp down. Anything else? Let's go and get the charcoal diamond, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. So hopefully we hit the land drop next turn. That's going to put us online for Panharmonicon. We go for some good double Gonti triggers, which is always a lot of fun. But if we don't, we do have Yahini to get him or her down. Or get they down, and then we can start swinging in with Yahini. But we did cover both commanders. It's free time. We can talk about whatever we want. But before we jump into the video, I need to keep this in mind before I forget. Happy birthday to Garrett, or Gaming with Guerte. You have been a long-time subscriber of the channel, so I just wanted to... You requested Gonti for your birthday, so happy birthday. And I wanted to say thank you for being a long-time subscriber. You've been there since day one, I'm pretty sure. So definitely appreciate that. Hope your birthday is a good one. Let's go ahead and get down Yahini. That way we can at least kind of get a little bit of a clock going. Hopefully we hit that land drop next turn to go for Gonti. Let's get down Yahini. Might be running into a counter spell right now. If they want to spin it on that one, that's fine. Go for it. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. We do have Phyrexian Reclamation if we want to do that. Pay 2 life to return target creature card from our graveyard to our hand. So if we want to bring back Yahini, we can go for that. We'll see exactly what we need to get into. Main thing, though, is if we can get down Panharmonicon, we can get those beautiful double Gonti triggers going, which really helps us kind of fill up Gonti's resale shop, make sure we have enough stuff for people to buy for Gonti. But as far as the deck go, this is the first time I've played Gonti since they did the 1 versus 1 bannings, and so I had to cut Demonic Tutor, Imperial Seal, Vampiric Tutor, and then we just got capsized on Phyrexian Reclamation. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Chrome Mox, wonderful. That'll allow us to get some Gonti going. Since we did get Essence Scattered and Capsize kind of going pretty quick, let's go and go Chrome Mox. Let's go and cast Chrome Mox, and I guess what we'll go and exile is do you want to get rid of Massacre Worm? I think we're pretty far. Actually, let's go and get rid of Ghastly Conscription. That's going to be a minute since we get that going. Let's go ahead and exile Ghastly Conscription. We could go for Panharmonicon, but actually I just really like getting down Gonti. Well, if we're going to get that to stick, we have to play around a counterspell. Yeah, let's do some setting up. Let's go for Panharmonicon. I want this to stick, and if we go for Gonti next turn, maybe they tap out for some sort of artifact. That's going to give us double Gonti. I like going for that. They're completely tapped out. And if they want to go for a capsize on Phyrexian Reclamation, you know, maybe they're just looking to get rid of some value out of their hand or something like that. But worst case scenario, we just run Gonti into a counter spell or something like that, which I'm a-okay with. Now, with Panharmonicon on the battlefield, we do have Massacre Worm in the hand. So if our opponent, I don't think this is going to be a super heavy creature build, but at least we can get double Massacre Worm triggers going. And our opponent does get down a Magus of the Disc, so 1 mana, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Alright, Treacherous Urge. We don't have enough mana for that, but we do have double Gonti triggers, so let's go and get that going. So we're looking at Chrome Mox, double black, 1/2. If they want to blow everything up, they can. That will put us behind on land drops, but at least we get double Gonti triggers. Alright, Baral, Donovan, and Banisher Priest. Let's go ahead and go for Donovan. I think I'd like that. You know, maybe they don't activate Magus. More than likely we'll see it activated. But if we get to cast this and we can go for the... just keep plussing up on Donovan, I like that. So let's go and steal Donovan. But this looks to be a pretty straightforward blue-white control style deck. Isolation Shell, Commit to Memory, Island, Day of Judgment. Let's go ahead and go for... Nah, I don't think we want Isolation Cell. Let's go for a Commit to Memory. I like going for that one. Exile Carcass will take Commit. I would assume it would be the whole card. That's weird. I've never seen it do that on split cards, so we'll just go ahead and go for Commit. Okay. Either way, we get to cast it. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. That popped up in the, oh, that's a weird zone on that one. All right, so maybe the jig is up. Maybe they do know what is, this is the, so I'm trying to figure out which zone this is. Exile zone. So I guess they can actually see that out of the exile. I guess we should have clicked on the actual card itself. So the jig actually might be up on them knowing about commit. So at least we'll go ahead and leave it up. But if they do a little bit of setting up with Magus of the Disc, we do have Donovan to get that down to go for the plus activations. They can activate it in response, so we'll see exactly what they go for. But if they do activate it in response, at least we do have Donovan on the battlefield, so we can start building a little bit of a clock and then start going from there. Alright, they are going to pass the turn over to us, and we do draw into another swamp. Let's go and get these swamp down. Now, with them passing the turn like that, I guess, do we want to go for Donovan? That's going to be, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we get that down. At least we'll get a little bit of a clock going if they're going to go for that activation. Yeah, let's go and do that. That's going to be double black. Then 1, 2. So we got Donovan, and then we have commit to memory up. More than likely, if they see a crack, we'll still start working towards that ultimate. Or if they just simply have a counterspell, then go for that. Alright, desertion. If an artifact or a creature spell enter the battle. Alright, so they do have a counterspell for that. Let's get into the battlefield. Anything else? Let's go to get the Phyrexian Reclamation down. It's going to be 1. And then I guess we could technically just go and push in with Gonti. It does have Death Touch, so worst case scenario, we're just going to get in for 2. Or we take care of the Magus if they want to blow it up. So I'll be okay with that. And at this point right now, if Gonti does die, we'll go back to the command zone. That's going to be 6. That'll be 6 total mana. So that will kind of put us in a weird spot with Magus of the Disc out there. Let's go and push in for 2. Then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn back over to our opponent. Now, if they do pass the turn without activating Magus, we do have commit to kind of stop whatever sort of spell they want to go for, so we can leave that up next turn. But unfortunately, it will not stop Magus, so we're kind of at the mercy of Magus at this point right now. We have got into spots where it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we hit the land drop next turn, we can go for a Black Sun Zenith to kind of keep it off the battlefield, but we'll see what's going on. Search for Aztec. Okay, get that down. It's going to be 2 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put it in your graveyard. Then if you have 7 more cards, flip it, and it's going to be another card advantage land on that one. See what they're going to go for. If something does happen to Gonti and we want to send it to the graveyard, if they leave all of our artifacts up, then we can start bringing it back with Phyrexian Reclamation. So we'll see what they're going to go for. And that is a tap on that one. So if we do hit the land drop, that does put them on counterspell. But if we draw into one of our removal sources, we can get rid of Magus of the Disc off the battlefield. All creatures, artifacts, and enchantments. So that that's going to hit us pretty hard on that one. Okay, so we draw into another swamp. Let's go ahead and push in with Gonti at this point right now. Pushing in. Now, if we go for Black Sun Zenith, they have 3 cards in hand. They have 3 mana up. I think I like going for Black Sun Zenith on this one. If we go for Black Sun Zenith, it's going to get rid of Magus off the battlefield, which is really going to hurt us if they go for that activation, because they do have to tap Magus. We'll see what they're kind of holding on to at this point right now. Okay, push in for 2 is going to put him down to 27. That's going to be 4 total commander damage. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for it. Let's go for Black Sun Zenith. That's going to be 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. The quicker we get Magus off the battlefield, the better we can kind of relax with our Gonti resale shop. But probably looking like we're going to run into a counterspell on this one. Okay, draw into Hinder. Hit Hinder on this one. Counter target spell, put on the bottom. That's fine. That gets countered, and then anything else, we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. Now, we do have Treacherous Urge in the hand. If we do hit on the land for next turn and they don't go for the Magus activation, we can at least cast that. Let's see what the last 2 cards are. But if this is about a 50 counterspell deck, we'll kind of see what we can kind of run into. And then, once again, if they get any sort of creatures out there, we do have double Massacre Worm triggers to kind of get that going. It was unfortunate, man. I recorded Gonti earlier, and it was a pretty fun match against Sidisi. But on OBS, you can do a preview mode, and you can do a record mode. And I accidentally went for the, clicked on the preview mode, which does not record the video, but I ended up getting double Massacre Worm triggers, which is really a lot of fun. Really fun way to kind of close it out. All right, Put is going to go for Stuffy Doll. Alright, now this is going to be 1, 2, actually we have just enough mana for double Massacre Worm and they're completely tapped out. They have 2 cards in the hand, so we kind of have to watch out for Force of Will or something like that, but if they're tapping out for that, I'm okay with that. This is going to be double Massacre. Go for the Throat. Okay, yeah, let's go for Massacre Worm, let's go for that. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to allow us to kind of push past that, there we go. Double Massacre Worm, and it's going to take care of Magus and take care of Stuffy Doll, which is going to be double indestructible, so we couldn't really go for it with Go for the Throat. Well, Go for the Throat is not an artifact anyway. So we'll get those double Massacre Worm triggers going. They're going to lose 2 life on that one. We don't gain 2 life on that one. And they get rid of Magus of the disc. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Let's go and push in with Gonti. Man, I'm telling you, when you've got Magus on the battlefield, that 1 mana, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. We got Phyrexian Reclamation, Panharmonicon, bunch of that good value stuff. I was like, oh, man, I can rest. I feel a little bit, if my commentary was a little whatever for a second, I was just really not feeling that Magus out there. So I'm glad that got taken care of. We found a spot to take care of it. Opponent has the new, ooh, man, I'm telling you, if these weren't in Standard, I would pick them up right now to replace all of my lands. But these new, I guess, check lands, whatever you want to call them, they are absolutely gorgeous. I love the new art on them. And in fact, once they rotate out, I'll probably pick some up. Okay, Misinformation. So it's going to put Magus on the battlefield. There's no other creatures that they have. Let's go ahead and push in. That's going to be 8 coming across. We could go for a Treacherous Urge if we wanted to. Kind of see what's in their hand. If they have any sort of creature, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be a lot of mana, though. But what do we have? Commit to Memory? Yeah, let's go ahead and push in. We saw a lot of board wipes. If we can go for Commit, put it on the second from the top, I kind of like that. We have a good clock going at 8. So we got about 3 more steps before we can kind of go ahead and close it out. And with us having a counterspell backup, I like going for that. We could go for Treacherous Urge, but I like holding up Commit on this one. If they know about it, it did get exiled, so I may have clicked on that one wrong. So that's kind of the first time I've exiled a split card with Gonti. We'll see what they have to show for it. Okay, opponent's going to go for a Blessed Alliance. Target player gains 4 life. Target player sacks an attacking creature. I think I'm okay with that. We could go for send Gonti to the graveyard. Yeah, I'm okay with that. We'll sacrifice Gonti. That way we get in a pretty good chunk of damage with choose this creature. And then we can Phyrexian Reclamation to bring it back and then recast it. That sounds pretty good. Alright, swinging it for 6. Going to put him down to 19. And if I want to go for a board wipe at this point right now, we're fine with it on the commit, actually. At least we're going to be able to get another Gonti trigger, too. Double Panharmonicon? Oh, yes. Let's go and pay 2 life. Return Gonti back to the hand. It's going to be 1, 2. And then I need to remember that we do have Yahenni in the graveyard, too, so that I can actually get into spots where we can push in with that haste, which would kind of pretty much matter on this one. Let's go for Gonti. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this could be double Gonti triggers. Oh, yes. Now, there will be an Authority of the Council trigger, but the main thing is we get double Gonti triggers. Let's see if we can't get something good off this one. Got the Cluestone, Treasure Map, Grand Abolisher. Actually, I really like, I think I like Grand Abolisher. That way we don't have to really play around something like Magus of the Disc anymore. We could go for the Binding, but I like Grand Abolisher on this one. Alright, look at the another top 4. Desert of the True, Pull from Tomorrow, and Banishing Light. Let's go for Banishing Light. That's going to keep it, kind of want to keep the way clear for us to start swinging in, and that's a really good spot for us. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So now we're completely tapped out. Our opponent only has 2 cards in hand off their draw step. We are tapped out, so we're off online for commit. But if they do get anything on the battlefield, if we want to push in for 8, we do have at least Banishing Light to kind of keep that off the battlefield. Now, if they do go for Lavinia, I think that's how you say it, detain each non-land permanent converted mana cost 4 or less, that will allow us to start swinging in with Massacre Worm still, so we'll be okay on that one. And then, if something does happen to Massacre Worm, we still have Phyrexian Reclamation to start swinging in with that. Alright, no swings from our opponent. And then, make sure we keep in mind Misinformation for any creatures, so it's still just Magus of the Disc over there. Let's go and get these swamped down. And I think at this point right now, we're just going to be pushing in and then stopping any sort of last-minute spells that our opponents have. So let's go and push in for 8, put our opponent down to 12. And then on the back end, we might end up going for Phyrexian Reclamation on Yahenni. That's going to be 1, 2, we have 7 total mana. Settle the Wreckage. Exile all attacking creatures. I like going for commit on this one. Let's go and do that. That's, if they have another counterspell in the hand, so be it. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be second from the top. Second from the top. That way, kind of put it on top of there, and then we don't have to really worry about that one. Alright. And if it draws out another counterspell, at least kind of leave it open for us to... Oh, okay, opponent scoops it up. We get rid of Settle the Wreckage, but hey, I will take that one. Settle the Wreckage. Love it. But yeah, I'm going to go and throw that one up. You know, you're playing against blue-white control, and you've got a pretty good clock going. That's going to be 8. Puts them down to 12. Then on the back end, we swing in for another 8. That last card in their hand was not a counter spell. So we swing in with the Massacre Worm again. Or if we simply just bring back Yahini to start swinging again next turn, then that would have put us in a good spot to go ahead and close the game up. So I'm going to go and post that one up. But if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Gonti versus Sidisi. This is not a live video. No, it is not. What had happened is I'd hit the record button, but when I was testing out OBS, there's a preview mode that you can make sure stuff sounds good, like your mic and their video's rocking okay. And if you leave preview mode on, it will not record a video. So I recorded a pretty good Sidisi video with this particular deck, Gonti versus Sidisi. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but it was a really fun match, and I kind of wanted to just kind of show the highlights of it and just kind of talk about it as the game progresses on. So we ended up playing against Sidisi on this one. Our opponent did mulligan down to 3, which was a little bit of a bummer. So I kind of just slow rolled some stuff out. I got Voyager Staff out there. We got the Bloodfast down to start drawing some cards, and in fact we used the Bloodfast to make sure we hit the land drop for the turn. But the whole time basically I was just kind of slow rolling stuff out to make sure that Sidisi could get into those 3 colors to get down Sidisi. As far as what we got going on, it was a really fun match because we ended up getting Conjurer's Closet down and Minion Reflector, so we got both of those down, got the Gonti trigger going. You can see where we got Cryptgrass onto the battlefield too, so we got really amplifying the effects out. So as far as posting this as a daily video, like I really wanted to because we got some cool stuff on our side, but it wasn't really good showing from our opponent's side on Sidisi. But in fact, I'll go and cover Sidisi real quick. You know what Gonti does. Sidisi, whenever it enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then whenever one more creature cards are put into your graveyard from the library, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So, once we get down Cryptcast, we had enough mana to go for Gonti. Now, off the first Gonti flip, we hit a Sultai Ascendancy, which is just absolutely wonderful. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards. I went to a, I guess it's Khans of Tarkir set, I think? I can't remember. But anyway, I ended up going a 5-color deck, and I opened it up 2 Sultai Ascendancy. So I've always loved this card. I love effects that put cards in your graveyard or allow you to dig deeper. So our first Gonti flip was off Sultai Ascendancy, and actually had enough mana to go ahead and get it down. And maybe, I think we might have paid for an Extort trigger. I can't remember on that one. But our opponent goes for Codex Shredder. They get Brawn down, which is actually kind of funny because I saw Brawn was in the graveyard, but I forgot it gave the creatures trample, so later in the game I kind of forget about that. But so once we get down to Sultai Ascendancy, we start to kind of go beat sticks with Cryptgas and Gonti, and then we also get down. I think let's see how we what we roll out this turn. Yeah, we end up going for Conjurer's Closet, which. Conjurer's Closet with Gonti is some good magic right there. So we make sure that Gonti does not go to the exile zone, or go back to the command zone instead of the exile zone. So we ended up flipping into Vizier of Many Faces, which we're going to end up using that to make a copy of Gonti, if you want to believe it or not. So we make a copy of Gonti off that one. And then off the Sultai Ascendancy, we flip Animate Dead and Swamp. With no really good creatures out there, you know, our opponent just had Brawn. I wasn't really feeling Animate, so that's why I kind of threw it into the graveyard. So we end up going for 0 on this one. We don't pay for the Extort trigger. It comes in as a copy of Gonti. We decide to keep our copy of Gonti, and we get that trigger. And then we hit Cackling Counterpart, which is an amazing flip to hit off that. So I'm like, why not? Let's keep the fun rolling. So if we go for Cackling Counterpart on a Gonti, get another Gonti trigger, and then off this one we flip Grizzly Salvage. Now off that flip right there, I mainly picked Grizzly Salvage just because I love Grizzly Salvage, and I kind of mainly, and I even said this in the video that was not recorded, so you won't know, but there's different cards with Gonti that I want to kind of cross off my Gonti bingo sheet, and Grizzly Salvage is definitely one of those cards that I wanted to cast off Gonti. So I think off the other flip, it wasn't anything that crazy. We could have gone for a little bit better card, but I like going for Grizzly Salvage on that one. So we end up going for a Night's Whisper to dig a little bit deeper. Now we do end up hitting an Urborg, which allows us to turn all of our lanes into swamps, which really turns on Gonti. With Cryptgas, it really opens our mana up. So we start pushing in again. Now we have Minion Reflector and Conjurer's Closet on the battlefield. Now we don't have enough mana for it, but once you have Conjurer's Closet and Minion Reflector, oh, it's really good. And then off that off that Conjurer's Closet flip, we end up going for we flip a Reclamation Sage, and off this Reclamation Sage on the next turn, we end up kind of pushing in on Elixir of Mortality, just to kind of get the Cackling Counterpart out of the graveyard and the Vizier of Many Faces, but that's going to be later on. But yeah, so we grab Reclamation Sage, and since we do have Conjurer's Closet out there, we go for Reclamation Sage. We can start bouncing it with Conjurer's Closet or paying for it with the Minion Reflector. So I ended up keeping Moonlight Bargain on this one, just kind of thinking of a different way to kind of get a little bit extra mana. I mean, dig a little bit deeper into some cards. You know, we had a ton of mana, and we had Torment of Hellfire online the entire game. I was really waiting for our opponent to get Sidisi down before we even went for Torment of Hellfire. And in fact, it was kind of one of those cards I was like, man, I just... You know, I'm having a lot of fun with Conjurer's Closet, having a lot of fun with Minion Reflector. I don't really want to bust a really big Torment of Hellfire, because, you know, at this point right now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're looking at a Torment of Hellfire for like 16. So it's one of those things where I just wanted to have a little bit of fun. So this one we end up going for Reclamation Sage, targeting the Elixir of Mortality, once again kind of forcing that shuffle. And I ended up making a copy of Reclamation Sage just to kind of take care of the Codex Shredder. That way we make sure that we don't, our opponent didn't get any extra Sidisi triggers off that single ability off the Codex Shredder. So we get double Reclamation Sage. Now on this one, I've completely forgot that Minion Reflector grants those creatures haste, so I do not swing in with the hasty Reclamation Sage. So if you're wondering why I don't swing in, that's why. We go for a Grizzly Salvage. The only thing that we flip is a Massacre Worm, which is actually works really good against Sidisi and these zombies. But yeah, you can see right in swinging at that Reclamation Sage. Alright, so we bounce Gonti, and this time we have more than enough mana. Off that flip, it was, I'm trying to stop on the Gonti triggers, but off that last flip, we grab Embalmer's Tools, and that was really more of just of a way for us to kind of stop Sidisi from making sure they can get those zombie activations in the graveyard. And then we get the other one going off the other flip. I'm going to try and, there we go. Get it to stop right there. So they had Wonder in the graveyard. I thought about taking Wonder off that Gonti. Sorry, it's going really fast. I'm trying to stop it, but I guess I'll start doing it through there. But I ended up taking a Diabolic Tutor, which is really cool because I never knew this Diabolic Tutor was white border with the snakes. This is a really cool version to see. So I ended up grabbing that Diabolic Tutor, and then we keep the correct Gonti that we want to keep. Now at this point right now, we've got the win with Torment of Hellfire, so I'm just basically kind of trying to get the life total down, or at least stealing a few more stuff off our opponent's deck, seeing what kind of shenanigans we can get into with multiple Gonti triggers. Now this is the part where I activate Voyager Staff, thinking that we can stop that 2 damage from coming across, but I completely forgot that Brawn was in the graveyard. And somehow it got back in there after they shuffled it back in. I can't remember exactly how it happened. I guess, oh, excuse me, whenever CDC attacked. So that's where it came from. So whenever I made that block on there, I forgot it had trample. So my main line of play was to declare the blocker, not take the 2 and then bounce it with Voyager Staff, but basically it was just the same thing. So ended up bouncing the Voyager Staff. We get double Gonti triggers coming back in, and then I think if we can do it this way, we go step by step. There we go. So off that flip right there, I ended up taking Whip of Erebos, and that kind of put us in a spot to where, you know, let's say that our opponent's zombies got a little bit crazy. We needed to gain a little bit of life. We're at 22. We could get down to Whip of Erebos and get a little bit of lifelink on that one. And then we do end up paying for the Minion Reflector for 2 to make another copy of Gonti. There we go. And then off this flip right here, trying to get it to go. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to click on this to make sure that I keep clicking through it. But off that one, I ended up going for the Newscraft Mob. And so my intention with this pick right here was it's 6 mana. We have more than enough mana to get it down. And then it says whenever a player casts a spell, remove a +1 counter from Newscraft Mob. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So we have stuff like Massacre Worm, Moonlight Bargain. My intention was to get this down if things got a little bit crazy, and then start getting some extra zombies on the battlefield, going for that off the Newscraft Mob. And the cool thing with Newscraft Mob and Conjurer's Closet was that, you know, we could cast a few spells, get a couple zombies on the battlefield, and then we could, oh, excuse me, actually, if we bounce it, I think it would go back on our opponent's side of the board. No, it comes back on our side. Yeah, so that does work with Conjurer's Closet. You know, technically it's our opponent's card, but if we go for Newscraft Mob, we could take a few counters off, bounce it with Conjurer's Closet, then it comes back to the battlefield under our control, and it's ours for the rest of the game. Now, the Sultai Ascendancy, we did hit a Yahidi's Expertise, which I really wasn't feeling. And I kind of thought about keeping Cauldron of Souls, but I just wanted to see if we couldn't get something else a little bit more fun, something like Boneyard Parlay. Now, we did hit Undying Evil, an extra Planar Lens, but I'm pretty sure this is the turn where I try and kind of go off from here. Okay, yeah, and then we end up going for Massacre Worm. That's going to wipe their entire board out. They do get a little bit of a bonus from the Wreath of Geist. That's going to give Sidisi an extra bonus, which is going to protect it from the double Minion Reflector trigger. But, oh, felt good to get a Minion Reflector, a Massacre Worm. Oh, yes, look at that. And then I remember that Massacre Worm does have haste off the Minion Reflector. So we start swinging in, and in fact, we're swinging in with, I think 12 points of damage. That puts them down to exactly 1, and then I end up tapping out for a really big Torment of Hellfire, and then saving our opponent a bunch of clicks. I ended up going for an Extort trigger to kind of go for that. Now, but yeah, so I forgot to hit the record button, which was kind of a bummer on this one. But we had a lot of fun stuff going Gonti-wise, especially the Conjurer's Closet and the Minion Reflector, so I just still wanted to kind of go ahead and highlight this video and just kind of splice it on at the end of another Gonti video. That way you didn't really... because we played against the blue-white Lavinia, whatever her name is. That was a really fun matchup. But this one, you get to see Gonti go really wide with Conjurer's Closet and Minion Reflector. So, but yeah, I may do these from time to time because there's sometimes where I'm playtesting for a deck or something like that, and I come across a really fun video, or at least I come across a really good match, and I'm not recording, and I want y'all to see what really cool happened. And then also work on... kind of learning the controls on these. I've never really done, this is my first time doing a video like this, so I'll try and slow it down on a little bit in the future. So, but if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks, bye.